Hi folks, hope you're well. So this video, a little bit more propaganda. So at the moment in the UK, there is this idea about immigration, about, well, a lot of people on the right have the impression that France is encouraging people to do that journey from Africa through Europe, France to the UK. Again, propaganda. Yeah. The reality is, of course, if France was actually encouraging this in any way, shape or form, France would have to be incredibly stupid. Well, the leaders would have to be, yes. Because, let's say, some number. If you say 100,000 people you're encouraging, basically, it'd be nearly 100,000 men if it's 100,000 people. So let's say you're encouraging that to do that journey from Africa to the UK. It would be around about at least 40,000 people would settle on the way. So would not therefore make the crossing from France to England. At least 40,000, if not 60. Because, okay, let's say these people are honestly refugees who are looking for a safe place to live. That's what they claim, right? And I've said, we know that's complete nonsense, but we'll put that aside for a second. Let's say that's true. If you really are looking for a safe place to live, why would you take a small dinghy and be in that with another 70 people trying to cross the English Channel, or from what they say, the French Channel? Either way, doesn't matter. It's a channel. There's a good distance. It's a sod. I mean, basically, only an incredibly strong swimmer in perfect conditions can swim the channel, and that's with a team of people helping them. Right? If you're from an African country that pretty much had very little water, you're not used to swimming great distances. So you know, if this boat capsizes, you're dead. Does it sound like a safe thing to do? No. So therefore, you would stay in France, wouldn't you? Or in whatever other country you come through, Belgium or Italy or Spain or wherever. You would stay there. Because you're already somewhere where you're not going to be persecuted for being gay or for being Christian or whatever. Right? Yeah. But we know that this keeps on. As I say, if this was the French doing it, which is what the propaganda basically says, it's the French. The French are to blame. They're letting people cross. No. The French hate it. I just saw a program earlier today called Hostage, and it was based on the British Prime Minister's husband, who is a doctor, gets taken hostage in Africa. And because it's a French area of Africa, at that point in time, the British Prime Minister is having meetings with the French about, because we're at a point in the programme where doctors and chemists are running out of medication, so they're trying to get medication from France. The French part of the agreement is, surprise, surprise, they now want to send their own people, their own officers, to British soil to stop the boats. because Britain isn't doing anything about it. Well, not really. Because the border is so soft. So for it to be strengthened, they can't rely upon Britain doing it, partly because of the left-wing liberals. Right? So who's encouraging it? Britain is encouraging. And actually, they're right. Because in that programme, when I saw the lady, the actress character, the character saying that, the French character, I thought, well, actually, that's a perfectly reasonable thing for them to be asking of, really. Yeah, because if they're all coming through France, that's going to be a problem for France, really, isn't it? This whole idea that France is behind it, or France is actually encouraging people to come through, no, they wouldn't. It wouldn't be in their best interest to do so. Even if people were just coming through, you'd have to have all these people travelling through France, which is not going to be good for France. Most of them are travelling by foot. If they're being, taken by bus or coach, then that's going to, take up space on the roads, which is going to be more difficult for people to travel around, especially in small towns. So therefore, no, the French people wouldn't want that. They wouldn't put up with that. So yeah. Propaganda is going on all over the place. It has been, as I say, since Christ. And before Christ. It's a tool that's used within politics. Each side uses it. So, yeah. Be wise. Open your eyes to what is really going on. Open your eyes to the truth of what is happening in the world, rather than, being happily blinded by whatever propaganda you've decided to let in. But again, I'm not speaking to anyone because there's no point. No point at all. There's no point speaking to people of the world who are not of God. No, if I'm speaking to people of God, wake up. Wake up. Propaganda is lies. They're lies. You're not supposed to be under lies. You're not supposed to be believing in lies. Get right with God. Get yourself sorted with God. And start moving forward with God. So there you go. Question everything. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Enjoy. Bye-bye.